in this course we will discuss a few different ways to migrate configuration between instances using CodeBot. Our first example picks up on where we left off with our automation example. In that video, we created an MDF object and the fields within. Because that action was successful, the workbook highlights those pieces of configuration inside the workbook. We can use the same workbook, or in this case, we'll make a clone to move the MDF object and fields to a different instance. On the clone iteration, click the pen icon to edit, then swap out the instance, name a user, and I also like to add a description to indicate to myself that this is a migration. In the workbook, ensure that the objects are again set to pending. Then click the hamburger menu, Start Configuration, Password or SSO, Execution Note, and checkboxes. Then click Confirm and Start. While that runs, let's do an example of migrating configuration after we've run a compare. This can be helpful because the compare highlight formatting will indicate if the object is in one instance but not in the other. We'll do this with a role in RBP. Again, we'll make a clone of our workbook. On the clone, change the instance the bot is pointing to and add a relevant description. In the workbook, in RBP roles, select a testing role to pending. Then in RBP permissions, again, select the role to pending. Then we can also adjust some of the permissions as well. Use column H to target the bot's efforts to just a few permissions by turning the ones you'd like the bot to edit to yes. This is the exact same concept as setting an object to pending. Then copy-paste from the available permissions to grant those permissions. Then again, click the hamburger menu, Start Configuration, Password or SSO, Execution Note, checkboxes, and Confirm and Start. Our final example will be with recruiting. We're going to create the same piece of configuration in two instances at once. In iteration 5, notice that the status is set to complete and there is only one option in the hamburger menu. Click Request Reprocess. This refreshes the status back to ready to go, banks the previous action into the archive, and adds back all options into the hamburger menu. We'll use this iteration to create a new rating scale. Add the new scale name in column C and set that to pending. If the drop-down validation gives you an error, then add the name of the scale after the first set of dividers in column E, and paste a description into column F. At the final set of dividers, copy the configuration from an existing object, then in column H, use the drop-downs to retitle to ensure that the bot finds the correct pending object. Then back in CodeBot, again, click the hamburger menu, Start Configuration, Password or SSO, Execution Note, checkboxes, and just before clicking Confirm and Start, click this caret to execute the action on a parallel instance. Select the instance, SSO or password, select a user and add a description and an execution note, then click both Confirm and Execute and Confirm and Start. We'll look at the eye icon for each iteration action that we ran. In RBP, the role migration is complete. We can see a few warnings in the tracking request details, but also a screenshot showing the role in the new instance and a green highlight on the permission we granted. Then in the instance, we can see that the details are correctly uploaded. In Employee Central, we see the screenshots in the tracking request ID and the MDF object in our T1 instance. Finally, in recruiting, in both iterations 5 and 9, there are screenshots and workbook highlights validating that the changes have gone through successfully, and we can see the new rating scale in both our 443 and T1 instances. The point here is that there are a few different ways to perform a migration. Ultimately, it is up to the user's preference based on what documentation they need to provide, what internal processes they need to abide by, or how efficiently they need the work to get done. Our team can help you match CodeBot's functionalities to your use case. Thank you for watching.